Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Brook Waldorf, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another themed pick a card reading. Today's reading is themed to one of my absolute favorites, My Hero Academia, and the question for today's reading is how to keep going when the going gets tough. So if life has been really difficult lately, if you are struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel, if it seems like it's test after obstacle after stressful event, and nothing good seems to be happening for you, this reading is for you. I will say all three groups were similar but different, but they did all get the message of don't quit right before the miracle occurs. And I know it's like super cheesy and cliche, but it is darkest before the dawn. And I think if you were drawn to this reading, if you clicked on this reading, you are in that darkness before the dawn. So I think it's closer than you realize. And hopefully this video can give you a little bit of motivation to keep going and not give up. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a close-up of each group so you can use your intuition to choose whichever group or groups you are drawn to. There are timestamps in the description as always, so you can skip around. I also will be doing a podcast at the end of group 3 if you want to catch up with me on like a personal level, because I know it's been a really long time since I posted. So if you're interested in that, it'll be after group 3. There's a timestamp for that in the description as well. But let me go ahead and show you the groups up close. So group 1 is going to be Toga. Group 2 is Deku. And our final group, group 3, is Shigiraki. And just remember, as always, these are general readings. They're not meant for everyone. They won't resonate with everyone. They are for entertainment purposes only. Have fun with them. Don't take them too seriously. And if you are interested in getting a private reading with me, you can do so through my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description below. And believe it or not, it's September. It's that time of year. I have the 2024 year ahead readings listed up and available on my Etsy shop. So if you're interested in getting an in-depth look into your year ahead, you can do so through my Etsy shop. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive right in with group 1, Toga. All right, if you chose group 1, Toga, this is going to be your reading. All right, group 1, let's go ahead and dive right in. Remember to stick around to the end because we're going to do some handwritten messages. And we're also going to pull a couple My Hero Academia tarot cards as well, just to get some more kind of like messages at the end. But anyway, let's get into your reading, shall we? I'm not going to lie, I've like false started this reading like 3 times already. So I'm very much clearly in the 5 of Wands energy. And so maybe you are as well if you chose this group. 5 of Wands is a card of overthinking. It can definitely be a fear of like competition and things like that. But more often than not, the 5 of Wands, which I mean, that could definitely be part of it for you guys. But the 5 of Wands for me, I always imagine like, you know, in the movie Inside Out, that Pixar movie, like inside like the person's head, there's like the desk and it's like all the different emotions are like sitting at the desk and they're like, you know, arguing with each other and like whatever, because they're like different emotions. That's like what the 5 of Wands always makes me imagine, is it just makes me feel like there's like these multiple different emotions, feelings, people, whatever, like in your head. And one is saying like, go for it, just do it. And the other one's like, no, we should be more careful. We should like plan things out better. And the other one's like, I don't know. I don't think I want to do this at all anymore. And it's just like, oh my God, like enough. Like that's the vibe of the 5 of Wands. And I feel like that's kind of what the issue is with you guys, because you have a lot of uncertainty. You have the moon. There's definitely a need to be a little bit more grounded. I definitely feel like you guys are the type of people where you're very intuitive, very spiritual. You see signs, you get dreams, you get messages, you see connections, you see how things are working together. But I feel like the problem lies in the fact that I think you lean like too much into that sometimes, because that's where that moon energy is coming from. There's a need for you to take back control, and it's in a grounded, earthy way. Chariot is a card of control. This is a card of like taking hard control of your life, like hands on the steering wheel. You're going to steer your life where the hell you want to go. No one can stop you, but you got to do it, you know? The Chariot is oftentimes about like heading in a bit of a new direction. I feel like you definitely, for a lot of you guys, I feel like you're struggling to get out of your comfort zone. I feel like there's something you want to try or you want to do. And maybe you have tried it a little bit and it hasn't totally gone how you wanted it to, so you're afraid to try again. But there's this need to like keep going, like don't give up, right? We think about Deku, right? If you watch the show or read the manga or anything like that, we think about Deku like that's his hero's journey. Like Deku could have given up like 700 freaking times, man, like on on his hero's journey to becoming the world's greatest hero, like. But he didn't, and he doesn't. I mean, I don't know, it's not over yet, who knows, but no, he's obviously gonna be the world's greatest hero. But there's this need to like really take control. The Chariot can also talk about like heading in a new direction, heading away from, what you've known, what you've been doing. So that might also be where some of the overthinking and the fear of the unknown comes from, because maybe some of you are thinking about possibly moving. Or of course, this could be any sort of like just big move, like starting a new career path, going back to school, changing your major, moving to a new city, new country. Like, so definitely it could be that that's where like that fear of the unknown is, because you are wanting to make a big move. But then there's that fear, because we've got the moon. The moon is a card of fear, right? It's the subconscious, it's subconscious fears. It is also about intuition and dreams. But the whole deal with the moon is that the path is not lit. Things are confusing. There's a lot of illusions. There's a lot, again, that 5 of Wands, like, is this an illusion? Is that an illusion? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? I just think your brain is just like constantly spinning, constantly going, and it's exhausting you and it's frustrating you. And the moon talks about the path is not fully lit. You can see like 1 or 2 steps in front of you, and like that's it. And you have to just take those 1 or 2 steps at a time and just trust your intuition, and trust that even if it doesn't look like it, trust that you're on the right path. Trust that you're getting somewhere. So number 1, I am definitely getting the message strongly for you guys. I'm feeling like despondent, basically. Like, I'm feeling hopeless. I'm feeling exhausted. I'm feeling like the overthinking and the constant thinking and the round and round, and like that's what I'm feeling for you guys. And I feel like I'm getting the message of like you're on the right path, and that's the thing about the moon card. The moon card can be a frustrating ass card, but at the same time, like at its core, it's letting you know, yeah, I know things kind of suck right now. Yeah, I know things aren't clear. I know you're not where you want to be, but you're where you're supposed to be. You're where you need to be. I definitely feel like you guys are going through some major, major growth. We've got the Judgment and the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, of course, queen, right? Kings and queens are the more mature kind of energies. Very earthly, very grounded, very mature. The Queen of Pentacles is extremely resourceful. And you're growing into the Queen of Pentacles is what it feels like. If you look at the traditional decks, there's like a rabbit running by. And the rabbit is meant to signify like fears, anxieties, worries, like things that could like take her off her path, right? Again, hello, the freaking moon energy. But the Queen of Pentacles is not looking at that rabbit. She's holding her coin. She's looking at her coin. She's focused on her coin. She usually looks very like, self-assured, And so it's to signify that, yeah, life happens. Yeah, shit happens. Yeah, sometimes stuff is confusing, and sometimes bad things happen, and sometimes stressful things happen. But you just work through it. You move past it, and that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. I think like catastrophic thinking is something that you might struggle with a lot. But this journey is to get you past that, right? Or to get you to, again, it's like you're on a journey of maturation, maturing. Like that's what it feels like, getting more grounded, getting more mature, being able to deal with difficult things better. So I feel like you've been thrown a lot of difficult things, a lot of difficult decisions, a lot of just difficult, stressful things in general. And I definitely get that kind of feeling of like, why me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, I'm a good person. Like, I follow my intuition. Like, why me? Well, it's part of your spiritual journey. It's part of your hero's journey, because you're leading to the Judgment card. I love how we kind of almost went backwards a little bit, but Judgment. Rebirth, Phoenix rising. I've been saying this a lot. It's been coming up a lot in private readings lately. But in order to be the Phoenix, you first have to be the ashes. You have to be one with the ash. You have to be destroyed. You have to go through a bunch of stuff. You have to go through hard times, lessons, lesson after lesson after lesson, stress, difficulties. In order to rise from the ashes, you have to be the ashes, right? And I feel like that's kind of what you've been going through. Is I feel like you've been in that state for like a really long time. I mean, it's maybe been a year. It's maybe been multiple years for some of you. but just feeling like, oh my God, I can't catch a break. Like, oh my God, it's always something. Like, just when I think things have calmed down, or just when I think things are going in the right direction, then something else has to freaking come up. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, that's the vibe, but you're headed for this. You're on the right path. Try to take control over your thoughts, because you cannot control circumstances. You cannot control other people. You can't control if you get that job or not. You can't control if your partner is communicating with you or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't control if you get that house or that apartment, or, you know, you get approved for that loan. Like, you can't control those things. All you can do is take the necessary steps that you need to take to get to whatever it is that you're trying to get, accomplish, manifest, whatever. Take the necessary steps and don't worry about the other stuff. I feel like that's something that's going to be really important for you guys, is trying to learn how to let go of control in terms of the things you have no control over. Because that's the thing about life, right? There are things we have control over. There are things we don't have control over. And when you can recognize if you do or don't have control and then act accordingly, like, that's when you can find, you know, balance and peace within. It's not easy, but I feel like that's kind of the lesson for you guys. So when you feel like you just want to give up and you just can't do it anymore, just remember, you got to be the ashes before you can be the phoenix. You're on the right path. You're maturing. You're getting more grounded. You're getting more resourceful. Things are going to come in, but you just got to keep going. Okay, so let's get to your oracles, and then we'll do the handwritten stuff and all that at the end. Okay, number 50, we have no place like home. Well, this is a card about authenticity. This could also be talking about maybe literally the home. So for some of you, there might be this need to just kind of like make your home a sanctuary, you know? Trust me, I've struggled. I hate my apartment. It's a long story, but like I hate where I live and I can't find anywhere better, and I just feel very stuck, right? I feel like I'm in this mode when it comes to my living situation. But I've learned, you know what? Like, if people are annoying me, put in headphones, put in earplugs, just deal with it and move on. I can't control other people. I can, you know, complain as much as I want, but that doesn't mean that anyone's gonna care. And sometimes, again, it's like sometimes you just gotta like create that sanctuary. I feel like there's this need for a sanctuary for a lot of you guys. Find it wherever you can find it, however you can find it. Again, if you need to put in earplugs or headphones because you have noisy neighbors or something, like, do it. If you need to go somewhere, if there's a park nearby, or, you know, your local Starbucks or whatever, like, I feel like you just really need that sanctuary, because again, your mind is running a mile a minute and we need it to chill. And so I'm getting this feeling of like needing a sanctuary, 10 minutes a day, an hour a day, whatever, like, figure it out, find a way to do it, quiet your mind, relax yourself. Again, like I said, what this card actually really represents, according to, you know, to the book that comes with it, is it's a card of authenticity. It's coming home to yourself, which again also makes sense with that judgment energy and this feeling that you're on this path of like maturing and becoming, you know, wiser and more grounded and more confident, you know, more resourceful with the Queen of Pentacles. You know, again, it does make sense that I think you are on a journey of authenticity, right? Okay, we have very nice dawn, the light after the darkness. Well, not mad at that, right? There's been a lot of darkness here, obviously. I mean, again, the moon card is pretty much all darkness. And it's interesting too, because there's this like beaming light, right? This is like nighttime, it's dark, but there's this beaming light coming from this house. And again, it's all about coming home to yourself and authenticity. And you've got the dawn card and you've got the moon. So it's like this feeling of like, maybe that's part of that Five of Wands too, is just like, do I want this? Maybe your dreams have shifted. Maybe your goals have shifted. Maybe you're confused. Do I still want to be in this relationship, this friendship? Do I want to go after this new career path? Do I want to move to Paris? Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think maybe, you know, that's part of the Five of Wands as like things are shifting within you and things are changing because you're changing, you're growing. And so I feel like there's a lot of like questioning yourself. Well, no, but that's always been my dream. Well, no, but I definitely have always wanted this, but maybe now I don't, but like I do. And like, there might be just a lot of overthinking, I think, going on. Overthinking, I think, because again, things are changing. I just get this feeling of like who you are, your home, your authenticity is evolving and growing and changing. And I think you're just kind of also going through some growing pains in general. So, try to embrace that you're changing, you're growing, you're becoming. And that's not something that you can force or rush. When you're in the cocoon, you got to just be in the cocoon, you know? As much as we want to get to the light at the end of the tunnel and we want to get out of the tough times and we want to just like get past this, you got to go through hell to get to the other side. You know, you got to go through Hades to come out the other side stronger, come out the other side the hero, you know? And then your final card before we move on to the other stuff. Number 3, knowledge, study, learning, education. Okay, very interesting. Study, learning, and education. Well, with the Queen of Pentacles, I mean, that could be something. Again, I did kind of just offhandedly mention maybe you want to go back to school or maybe you want to learn something. Even if you don't want to go to school, you know, this day and age, it's very easy to teach yourself new skills with the internet and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So I would say if you are wanting to go in like a new direction, which it seems like you are in some area of your life, possibly all areas of your life, do some research, you know? If you have a ping towards, for some reason, I just really want to move to Paris, well, start looking into Paris. What does it cost to live in Paris? If you're not from France, you know, how do I move to France? How do I deal with, you know, work and visas and da-da-da-da? And like, just start to like do that kind of stuff. And maybe that will lead you to other things, right? So, sorry about my breathing, by the way. I had surgery a couple months ago in my nose and I'm still swollen. And so you're probably hearing all my lovely nose noises. But anyway, let's do this next. Let's do the handwritten messages last. Let's get you a card or two from this deck just for some final kind of like pieces of advice or just main, you know, messages for you. We've got the High Priestess, Froppy. And let's get one more. Group 1. What do you need to know to keep going, to not give up? Okay. Okay, the devil. The devil. Okay. Pinky. All right, well, you got 2 majors. Check that out. This is big. Okay, so this is like very on brand for your reading, right? I mean, the devil is our shadow side. The devil is, you know, the comfort zone, the limiting beliefs, you know, the 5 of Wands type energy. I mean, basically everything we've been talking about this entire reading. Whereas the High Priestess is all about, again, similar to the moon, following your intuition. Look, like she's, again, in this particular card, she's in the dark, right? It's nighttime. There's the moon right there. She looks very, I don't know the right word that I'm looking for, but just like she looks present. She looks like she believes in her future. She believes in what she's, you know, working toward. Like, that's just kind of the vibe this card is giving me. So basically what I feel like is your overall kind of message, what you need to do, what you need to work on in order to keep going, is you have to accept your shadow. You know, that's the thing. Everyone has a shadow. Everyone has faults or flaws or things that get in the way. For myself, like a big one is perfectionism. That's kind of my thing that I constantly have to grapple with and work through and deal with, is all or nothing thinking and perfectionism. But it's not going to go away, right? The more I try to like just shove it down and like, no, I'm not a perfectionist. I'm going to just do it. I'm going to do it. Like, it just makes things worse. You know what I mean? Like, you have to learn to accept yourself on all levels. You have to accept what you deem as a weakness or a flaw. You have to accept it and you have to work past it, right? And integrate it. You can't just like get rid of it. Your shadow is attached to you. It's always going to be there. It's never going away. It's all about learning how to work with it, right? And the High Priestess is all about trusting that intuition and having, you know, believing basically in limitless potential, you know? Let's go ahead and do your handwritten messages because they're, of course, starting to leaf blow outside my window right now. So anyway, first we're going to do a quote and then we're going to get you a character. So My Hero Academia quote for group 1. What is your quote to keep you going when the times get tough? Group 1. All right, we're going with that one. All right, your quote is, whether you win or lose, looking back and learning from your experiences is a part of life. All Might. Wow. Whether you win or lose, looking back and learning from your experiences is a part of life. Again, that's kind of exactly what I feel like you guys are going through. Is like, again, I feel like you've been through a lot. I feel like it's been a long journey of lessons and difficulties and tough times. And there's this feeling of like, I just can't keep like going. I just can't keep doing this anymore. Like, please, God, like give me something to look forward to, or give me something positive. Like, I can't keep doing this. But again, you're on the right path. It might not look like it, it might not feel like it, but the dawn is coming. The light after the darkness, the victory, the forward momentum, the phoenix rising moment, it's coming. But sometimes you got to go through those hard times. Sometimes you got to, you got to lose. Sometimes you got to fail in order to, again, grow and become who you need to be in order to have the things that you want, right? And I feel like that's the journey that you're on right now. So let's get you your character. So what character should you embody? All right. Sorry about the noise. We're almost done. Okay. All right. You guys got Bakugo. Force yourself to be confident even when it's hard. Don't allow yourself to care what people think about you. Then you'll get a complete victory. And look at that. You got the freaking Chariot card. So you literally have one of the like victory cards in the deck. So force yourself to be confident even when you're not, even when it's hard. Don't care what anyone thinks about you. Go after what you want. Get that complete victory. Don't back down. Times might be tough. You might be struggling, but don't give up. Just know that that dawn, that light, that beacon, it can happen at any moment. And wouldn't you just be so freaking pissed at yourself if you gave up and it was right around the damn corner? You know what I mean? So anyway, group one, that is going to do it for you. Thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my Etsy shop if you're interested in a private reading, linked in the description below. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. All right, if you chose group 2, Deku, this is going to be your reading. All right, group 2, let's go ahead and dive right in. Just remember to stick around to the end. We've got your handwritten messages, and we will also pull you a couple of the My Hero Academia tarot cards for some kind of extra messages at the end as well. But anyway, okay, today's reading is all about how to keep going when the going gets tough and you just want to give up, but you know you can't, but you just can't keep going. So what do we got? All right. Okay, group 1, 2. Nope, this is group 2. I took such a long break between filming groups. I forgot I already filmed group 1. Group 2. Well, it's interesting because with the 8 of Cups and the 6 of Swords, well, honestly, with most of your cards here, I'm immediately getting this feeling of like, I feel like you've had to walk away from a lot of things, and I feel like it's a lot of different things. It could be relationships, romantically, friendship, could be business relationships, could be jobs, living situations. Maybe you had to leave school, or, there's just this feeling, moving, 8 of Cups and 6 of Swords are both cards of like kind of in a way like walking away from something. 8 of Cups in particular, this is all about walking the path to fulfillment, walking the path to the 9 of Cups. And a lot of times it's a lonely road. It's got an eclipse on it. So it's all about like eclipsing things out of your life. I always think of the 8 of Cups as like very Scorpio vibes. It's like when you know, like when the vibes are off, you got to move on, even if it's painful, even if there's melancholy, it's got that kind of like ending chapters kind of feeling to it. And then the 6 of Swords, similar but different, right? 6 of Swords is a good sign because it is heading to calmer waters and feeling like you can kind of like finally breathe again. So we love that. But it is also a card of like sailing away, leaving everything behind, leaving everything, everyone you've known behind. You're heading in a new direction. You're starting something totally new, kind of jumping into the unknown, which is very much the Knight of Wands. So I feel like that's what you need to do. If you want that Wheel of Fortune to kick in, if you want the calmer waters, I feel like that's exactly what you guys need to do with the Knight of Wands, is get out of your comfort zone. Knight of Wands is all about following your heart, following what you're passionate about, following what you want to do, the direction you want to go. And it's a bit of a risk-taking energy. It's a very adventurous energy. So to me, the Knight of Wands is like, when you know deep down in your heart, like, my dreams can't come true if I don't move to New York or like whatever, you know, like my dreams can't come true if I don't do this. I need to figure it out. I need to take the leap of faith. I need to figure out how to get there, and I need to go. I need to just do it already. It's a little bit of like, turn the brain off, follow your heart. Like, I feel like that's what is going on here for you guys, because you have the Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune is all about luck coming in, but that luck only comes in when you do what you need to do. We can always get stuck on the wheel. The wheel is all about like learning lessons, integrating those lessons. And we've all been there, right? We've all been on the round and round where we just cannot seem to integrate a lesson no matter how badly we want to, no matter how badly we try. And I feel like that's what's been going on for you guys, is I feel like you've been wanting to try something new. I feel like you've been wanting to get out of your comfort zone. You know, again, it's like, I want to get on those dating apps, or I want to get out more, or I want to move to New York, or I want to go after that new career, you know, path. There you go. Words, difficult. But there's something that's been holding you back. For some of you, it might be family. It might also just be like comfort. Again, because leaving the comfort zone is uncomfortable. 10 of Pentacles. I think you are craving that stability. And I think you're craving like your own stability, right? Because the 10 of Pentacles is all about like creating that legacy, creating your legacy, creating your stability. And again, this can be every area of life, obviously. It's a general reading, so take what resonates. But I feel like that's what you were really craving. That's what you were working toward, is you want that, maybe romantic, maybe financial, maybe both. Maybe you want kids, you know, you want a house, like et cetera, et cetera. You're working toward that, but something is keeping you stuck. And for some of you, I am picking up that it might possibly be like family that's keeping you stuck. Because again, for instance, if it's like, oh, I don't want to be a dentist, I want to be an artist, but your parents want you to be a dentist, and it's really hard for you to go against what they want. Or maybe, again, you live in London and you want to move to New York, and you're going to have to leave your family behind, and that's really hard for you to do, and they don't want you to go. Like, for some of you, I'm specifically picking up something along those lines. It could also be even like friendship too, as well, like soul family. Like, if, again, just as an example, again, like you're moving to another city, another state, another country, whatever. But I don't want to leave my best friend behind. I don't want to leave my friend group behind, my family behind. That could definitely be specifically what it is for some of you guys. But just kind of in general, there is this feeling of like, you really want to go after something. You really want to head in a new direction. You really want to follow your heart and your passion. But I think it's the fear of leaving the comfort zone. I feel like it's like the fear of change that's kind of been holding you back. But embracing that is what's going to get this wheel to turn in your favor. It's funny because group one was like similar. I've had this happen before. Group one was similar, but you feel like you're on basically kind of the same journey as group one, but farther along. You feel like they were kind of like really in the thick of things. You feel like you're kind of starting to come out the other end, but you're still struggling a little bit. And there's definitely a lot of like, again, kind of like just melancholy energy, endings, like waiting for the new beginning. But in order to get the new beginning, there's an action that you need to take. And I think in your heart of hearts, you know exactly what that is. You might be holding yourself back. It might be a little bit of perfectionism. Oh, it would be better to do that in the winter. Or, oh, like maybe if I can make a couple extra $1,000 first. And of course, there's nothing wrong with being practical. I'm a practical gal. Like, I'm all for it. But like sometimes I think that practicality gets in our way, and it's like you're getting out of whack. You're getting out of balance. It's funny because group one was out of balance in the way that I think they were a little bit too much in like the spiritual, intuitive energy, not grounded enough. I'm almost feeling you guys is kind of the opposite right now, where you're almost too in your head, not in the magical enough. Because again, I'm hardcore getting the message with the Knight of Wands of this is a time to follow your heart, not your head. And again, as I said, balance is key. We need to be practical. We need to use our brains, but I think you overuse your brain. Oh, and are you freaking kidding me? I'm sorry. I just picked up your oracles. Number 36, come to the edge. Focus. Number 36, come to the edge. You've got to be kidding me. I'm going to read the book on this one because it's too good. It's too perfect. I'm almost freaking, there's two cards in this deck that are very similar. I'm almost positive this is the one that says think with your heart, not your head. I'm almost freaking positive. Hold on. Let's see. 36, is that what I said? Yeah. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. Yes. 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 Facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. It's time to take a risk that is not calculated. The Knight of Wands is your card. To feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Here you go. Ding, ding, ding. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. You can't make this shit up. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so you may find your miracles. Oh my God. Okay. We could have just pulled this card and like called your reading a freaking day, because that's basically everything that I've been saying and feeling for your whole reading. That is exactly what you need to do. Take an uncalculated risk. Be spontaneous. Let go of control. Follow your heart, not your head. Again, be smart, be safe. But like, you know what I mean? Like, there's this need to get out there, go in a new direction, leave things behind, take that leap of faith. Oh, sorry. Like, head into the unknown. I love it. And again, that was also a theme for group 1 as well, is embracing the unknown. So you might want to watch group 1. It just has very similar vibes. I'm not sure though. Again, there's definitely differences, but anyway, we have spider, community, and web weaving. I've been seeing a ton of spiders lately. It's so weird. I went through a phase very recently where when I was walking my dog, this happened like numerous times, where like in the middle of the sidewalk, like middle of the walkway, there's just a spider dangling from a web right in the middle, like directly in the middle. And it happened like 5 times in a row over the course of like 2 days. And I'm just like, what? This is weird. But this is a card of community. So for some of you, it might be that you need to lean on your community with that 10 of Pentacles. Could be friends, could be family, could be even people that you work with, whatever your community is. Maybe you have a YouTube channel, you need to lean on your community. I don't know. Like, there's this feeling of the 10 of Pentacles. When you're feeling scared and you're feeling like, I really want to do this, but I'm terrified, lean on someone. I know you have at least one person that you can talk to. There's got to be someone, some community that you can lean on to help give you that loving little push over the edge. So leaning on the community that is there for you, whatever that means for you. And web weaving is interesting as well, because of course, web weaving, it's like weaving something together to make a whole, right? Like to make something complete. It might not look great while it's in the midst of getting made, but it'll be complete. And again, you might have to lean on other people for support or advice or help. You might need to reach out to people more. That might be part of the Knight of Wands energy. I think of the Knight of Wands energy as very social. Maybe you haven't been, obviously it's been rough, especially for us introverts. The last few years have been really tough. So maybe you haven't been social enough, and maybe you need to start getting yourself out there more. Again, maybe if you're looking for love, well, you can't do nothing. You either got to go out in public, you got to put yourself out there on the internet, like you got to pick something, But web weaving, it's just making me think like about like things connecting, dots connecting, things coming together that you didn't see coming together. I'm getting a little bit of like hindsight for you guys. Like a little bit of like hindsight is 2020, where it's like, something's going to happen, something good. Let me preface that, right? We got to say that these days, because otherwise you never know. Something good is going to happen. Something really good is going to happen. And when it does, you're going to look back and go, that's why I had to do that. That's why I had to take that risk. That's why I had to XYZ. Like, there's just that kind of feeling. Also, literally, my tablecloth is the spider tablecloth. Duh. Spider. Sorry. Anyway. Okay. Next card, we have number 30. No. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, that's weird. I have no idea if the number 36 means anything important. I'm sure it does. All numbers mean something. You might want to look that number up. You might be 36 years old. I don't know. That might be an important number, because that's interesting. I don't know that that's really ever happened before. Number 36, faith, trust, unwavering confidence. Okay, and look, it's her heart. Her heart is on papaya. Okay, I'm going to sneeze if you're just going to give me a second here. Excuse me. Okay. Well, have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come shining through. That just popped into my head. But have faith in yourself. Have faith that you can take this risk. You can take this action and it will pay off. It's going to lead you somewhere. It might not lead you there right away. Again, you got to jump into the unknown, jump into the unfamiliar. It might not get you there, that minute, but trust that things are coming together. I feel like community is going to be very important for you guys. I feel like you're going to be, again, I think you have some community that you can lean on now, but I also think you have community coming in for you. Taking this leap of faith, starting down this new path is going to lead you to the right people. I'm just getting like major networking vibes. And again, this could be for love, connecting to you to the right friendships, your soul family, your soulmate, your true love, career stuff, like it could be like anything and everything. Again, of course, it's a general reading, but have faith and trust in yourself. Have that unwavering confidence and faith in yourself and in your dreams above all else. But let's go ahead and do your My Hero Tarot cards, and then we'll also do your handwritten messages. So let's get a couple cards for group 2. There's one. What final messages, words of advice do you need to know? Okay, King of Cups almost came out. Group 2. There we go. The Hermit, not surprised. Not surprised. King of Pentacles and the Hermit. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised by the Hermit at all because, I get the vibe. I think a lot of you guys are probably introverts or just a little bit more introverted, a little bit more shy possibly. I get kind of like a little bit of possible homebody. Like I kind of get that energy of like, again, I got this feeling of like, you want your dreams to come true. You want true love. You want friends. You want soul family. You want, to get out there. You want to do things. You want to maybe with the Knight of Wands, maybe even travel. But I think you've kind of been in hermit mode for so long that you're struggling to get out of it. Knight of Pentacles, right? Knight of Pentacles, you look at those traditional decks. It's the only horse that's not moving. He is the only knight that is standing still. And the Knight of Pentacles can represent being over prepared and like just being afraid to like take that first step, take that leap of faith. And that is the message of your reading, is needing to just get out of the comfort zone. You're already ready. You're over prepared. You're ready to go. You might not think so, but you're ready. You're ready to put yourself out there. You're ready to go after what you want. You're ready to be more social. I am kind of really specifically picking up being social. I don't know why, but like I think that's for a lot of you guys. That is your goal, is like just getting out more, meeting new friends, maybe making a love connection, just like socializing, getting out, doing things. Like I feel like you feel like you're not really living. And again, these last few years have been so freaking hard, especially on introverted people or shy people, or if you don't have a lot of friends where you live, or like it's been rough, right? So like go easy on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Just take it day by day, step by step. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's going to snowball. Every time you go out, it's going to get easier. Every time you reach out to someone or you message someone on a dating app. And again, if this is career related too, like every time you do it, it's going to get easier. It's going to feel less terrifying. It's going to feel less stressful. It's going to get easier. All right, let's get your handwritten messages. We're going to start with a quote from My Hero Academia. And then we're going to get you a character that you should embody. All right. Your quote is... Okay. Remember why you started down this path and let that memory carry you beyond your limit. Originally, Nana Shimura, and then All Might uses that quote as well. Okay, perfect. Remember why you started down this path and let that memory carry you beyond your limit. Yeah, and that, again, that's what it feels like, is it feels like, it's like part of you is like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep pushing myself. Like I can't keep overcoming. And the other part of you is like, yes, you can. You've done it a million times before. Put yourself out there. Reach out to that person. Go out. Take that leap of faith. This is not your first rodeo. Like you got this. Remember what are you working toward? Again, is it that amazing career opportunity? Is it finding your soul group? Is it finding, your true love? Whatever why did you start this journey? Why did you start this journey of all of these tough lessons and all of these difficult times? Why did you start this? Don't give up. All right, so your character that you should embody, group 2. I almost said group 1 again. Group 2. Group 2. Your My Hero Academia character any freaking day now. Okay, we'll go with that one. It is All Might. Okay, you guys got All Might. So you should try your best to smile and find happiness even in the darkest times. Wow, okay. You're more courageous than you realize. The Knight of freaking Wands. Never enter a battle thinking you'll lose. Okay, wow. Okay, so confidence is key when it comes to reaching out to people. Again, no matter what the situation is. Network, community, web weave. Put yourself out there. Be confident no matter what. Never go in thinking you're going to lose. I'm not going to get what I want. This person's not going to respond. I'm not going to get that job. Like, just keep it going. Keep going. I feel like there was something else I wanted to touch on really quick. Oh, you're more courageous than you realize. The Knight of Wands. I said it. At your heart, at your core, you are the Knight of Wands. But you've been on such an internal journey with that Hermit energy for so long, you've forgotten that. You think you're the Knight of Pentacles. Ain't nobody want to be Chisaki. He fucking sucks. Like, you are not the Knight of Pentacles. You are mistaken. You think you're the Knight of Pentacles. You're not. You're the Knight of Wands. Embrace it. Put that smile on your face. Socialize. Get yourself out there. And don't give up. All right. Well, that's going to do it for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. If you're interested in a private reading, check out my Etsy shop. That was my elbow cracking. Link in the description below. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. All right, if you chose Group 3 Shigiraki, this is going to be your reading. All right, Group 3, let's go ahead and get into it. Remember to stick around to the end of your reading because that's when you will get your My Hero Academia themed handwritten messages. And we're also going to pull a couple My Hero Academia tarot cards as well for some extra messages at the end. But let's go ahead and dive right in. So again, this reading is all about how to keep going. When the times are tough and you want to give up, how do you keep going? Oh boy. Okay. Whew. Your group. Y'all are going through it, aren't you? Okay. Let's start with the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, I always personally call my hero's journey card. So perfection. Here we go. Your hero's journey. Seven of Cups is a card of trial and error. It is a card of confusion. You know, you look at these cups and you don't know, what am I going to get? Until you grab the cup and you go for it, you don't know if you're going to get the castle or if you're going to get the snake, you know? So it's all about like illusion, confusion, feeling stuck and lost, but needing to keep going. That's the whole thing with the Seven of Cups is you try enough paths, you know, you grab enough cups, eventually one's going to be something good, right? The message with the Seven of Cups is that even if something didn't work out and you thought for sure, like, this is the job, this is the guy or the girl for me, this is, you know, the apartment or the house, like, and it doesn't work out, it just means, you know, I feel like you guys are definitely the group of, you know, that rejection is God's protection. There's something better. You're having trouble getting yourself off of a certain way of thinking. There's this very, like, I feel like very rigid, like, thought pattern of like, this is exactly how or when, or this is the timetable, this is my 5-year plan. Like, I'm getting a lot of earth vibes. A lot of you might be earth signs. The Empress is Taurus, but I'm really getting Capricorn and Virgo, like hardcore, or just some heavy earth placements in general. But I'm getting this very like rigid view, and all you're doing is stressing yourself out. The Nine of Pentacles is that card of fear, doubt, worry, anxiety. It's you go to sleep, you have a nightmare. You wake up, you're living a nightmare. It's like a never-ending loop of nightmare, nightmare fuel. It's just like you can't get out of it. You can't stop overthinking. You can't stop worrying. You can't stop doubting. There's just this like constant, it's never going to happen. Am I ever going to get there? Am I doing the right things? Which makes sense. It's not all your fault. Don't worry. It makes sense with the 7 of Cups, right? Because again, the 7 of Cups, and we'll get to the 5 of Cups in a second too. But the 7 of Cups is like so much like confusion, and you try something and I really thought that was going to be the thing that stuck, and that was going to be the one that worked, and it didn't, And it's very easy with that to get stuck in the 5 of Cups, the loop of the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups is a card of disappointment, and we are human. We get disappointed. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're getting stuck. You're getting so stuck in that disappointment. 5 of Cups, if we take it back to the, traditional decks, it looks very similar to this, but behind the person, not only is there 2 cups, there's also a pathway to a castle. And it's like, yes, sometimes, again, rejection is God's protection. Like, oh, I really wanted that job. I'm so upset. Allow yourself to feel it, feel the disappointment, work through it, but then turn around, because what you're gonna get is 800 times better than what you didn't get, right? So I think you need a little bit of a perspective shift, which, again, trust me, it's hard lately. I feel like you've experienced a lot of disappointment. I feel like, again, as soon as I saw your cards, I said at the beginning of your reading, like, y'all are going through it. I can feel it. I feel like you've experienced a lot of disappointment over a long period of time. This isn't like it just started last week or last month. This is like a year, 2 years, 5 years for some of you guys. It's like this seemingly never-ending cycle of I try this, I get a brick wall, I get upset, I get depressed, I try something new, cycle repeats. Like, it's just this like feeling of like nonstop frustration and disappointment. So, what do we do about it? The Empress and the 7 of Swords, okay? 2 things here. Number 1, the 7 of Swords is a little sneaky energy. And sometimes the 7 of Swords can talk about maybe needing to keep things to yourself a little bit. Keeping your cards close to your chest, because it could very well be that I feel like a lot of this is pressure you're putting on yourself. What it's coming across to me, it feels like, I feel like you're comparing yourself to others. So I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say you have a friend group. Let's say there's 3 of you in the friend group, and your 2 friends are both married. One's got kids. They both got amazing jobs. They're making good money. And like you're over here like constantly on this loop of like trying to get ahead, trying to meet the one, trying to get that dream job, or trying to start your business, or like, and just nothing is going in your favor. And there's this feeling of like you're comparing yourself to others, and that needs to stop, which I know it's hard. Maybe put down Instagram, that helps. But you're comparing yourself to others, but also there's this feeling of like you might be talking to them, right? Because they're your friends. Like you sit down, you have coffee. What's new with you? What's going on with your business? Have you met anyone? Are you seeing anyone? No, not seeing anyone. Oh, business is same old, nothing great, I feel like there's this need to like keep things to yourself, let things build in the background by yourself. Because do I think that your friends or family or whoever these people are, do I think they're bad people and have bad intentions? No. It's more so like, how do I put this? When we try to like explain ourselves to other people, and this goes for like everyone on planet Earth, whenever you try to explain yourself to somebody else, they're not always going to see your vision. They're not always going to understand. They're not always going to feel the same things you feel. So you might constantly be talking about like my business, and nothing changes. And they're kind of unconsciously like making you feel like, oh my God, like what an idiot, like they just can't get it together, but even though they're not necessarily even thinking that. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. I'm just getting this strong feeling that you need to keep things to yourself, and just kind of do your own thing. Be a little bit more secretive. Empress, she is a manifestation magnet. When we are in that Empress energy, we are in the flow of the universe. We are in the flow of life. This is a card of self-love and self-care. You need to treat yourself right, because you're clearly not. 9 of Swords. You are all sorts of in your head. You are talking down to yourself nonstop. I can feel it. You're comparing yourself to others. All of that needs to stop. We need to put the kibosh on all of that. If you need to take a break from social media, take a break from social media. If you need to take a break from your friends or family, take a break from your friends or family. If you just need to not tell them things, again, whoops, keep some things to yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. The Empress is like in control, but it's a card of like soft control. You know, I'm getting like strength vibes, like almost like the strength card of like that soft control of like, I got this, persistence, like keep it to myself, like keep it moving. The Empress, again, self-care is super important. I think a lot of you guys like work really hard. I'm getting some of you might be like maybe even possibly like single parents or like things like that where it's like you have to work a lot. You kind of get run ragged, but you've got to find a moment somehow. Like you have to find, even if it's 10 minutes a day of just drinking your coffee in the quiet at 6 a.m. or like whatever it is, you've got to find that moment every day, even if it's just something small. You got to do something for yourself. I feel like you give a lot. I feel like you compare yourself to others a lot, which is also essentially giving away your energy. You give. You need to stop. You need to love yourself. You need to treat yourself right. That's like the most important thing for you. Let's move on to your oracles. Number 37, which is funny because the group before got number 36. So very interesting. Number 37, never ending story. Look at her. That's the 9 of Swords. That's the 5 of Cups. That's the 7 of, that's the feeling I've got for you, is this never ending story. Nothing is ever going to get better. Nothing I try works. Everyone keeps getting ahead of me. I keep falling behind. I'm exhausted. I can't do this anymore. Right? Okay, well, then let's check out our next one. And well, I'm going to show you all 3 of these because they actually fit perfectly together. We have Cauldron, Synergy, and Healing. And then your final oracle is, check it out, number 43, Hope, Anticipation, Bright Prospects, Wish. Okay, so for you guys, it's interesting. Each group was kind of had like some similarities, like similar but different. And the way it kind of feels is like you are definitely the group out of all 3 that is having the toughest time right now. The other 2 groups kind of felt like they were inching more towards like coming out of the darkness. Whereas I feel like you feel like her. Like this tiny little beacon of light that you have is it. Everything else is just death and darkness, you know? But you have that tiny little ounce of hope. You know that everything that you've been doing, every decision you've made, even 7 of Cups, you know, even if it didn't seem like it amounted to anything, you know that eventually it will. You're on your hero's journey. And again, to me, you guys kind of feel like you're in like the deepest depths of it right now. So I can say to you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you're going to scoff and say, yeah, fucking right. Like, and I'm not going to blame you for that. I've been there like, I don't know, like a month ago. But anyway, but you've got synergy and healing. You've got hope. You've got the never ending story ending. I really do think the biggest key for you guys is the Empress. The biggest key for you is treat yourself right. Treat yourself with kindness. Stop giving and giving and giving without having time for yourself, without having energy for yourself. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop being so overly hard on yourself. Life is a journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. You need that healing energy. You can end the never-ending story. I think you feel powerless, and I think you feel like you can't end the never-ending story, but you can. It's in your power. The Empress, again, that soft control, that loving, nurturing energy toward yourself. I just feel like you are very hard on yourself. And again, you've been through tough times, so it's understandable, but you gotta be kinder to yourself. Let's get your My Hero tarot cards. Let's get 2 of these for any other themes or messages or pieces of advice or anything. We've got Justice, okay. And the Empress. Are you kidding me? Of course. Justice and the Empress. Group 1 also got 2 major arcana. But anyway, yeah, the Empress, duh. Like, are you kidding me? Of course you're going to get the Empress again. Like, literally the Empress was the most important card. I kept feeling it. The message of the Empress, this need to treat yourself better. And yeah, just believe. It's hard. I know it's hard. But we do feel better when we treat ourselves right. You know, when we are feeling anxious and feeling stuck, you know, go for a walk. You know, just get out and get some fresh air. Even if it's just for 10 minutes. You know, it makes you feel better. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. Avoid, I was going to say avoid caffeine. I know 100% that a big reason for a lot of my problems and anxiety is because of my addiction to caffeine. So I will tell you what I need, the advice that I also need to take. Like, limit caffeine. Stay hydrated. Go for a walk. Get some fresh air. Talk to a friend if you're struggling, you know. You need to treat yourself better. Mind, body, soul. That's what the Empress is all about. Now you also have Justice. Justice is a card of karma. Justice is a card of balance. It can be divine timing. Again, it's like you're out of whack with the never-ending story. You're very much in your head. You are very much in that never-ending cycle. You gotta like push yourself to get out of it, and you gotta understand that it's an everyday thing. When you're feeling as rough as you're feeling and you're feeling as stuck as you're feeling, it is not something that just happens overnight. Again, you've got to like treat yourself better, mind, body, soul, and you've got to allow it to take time. Like, it's going to take time. You're not just going to like eat really healthy and drink a lot of water and go for a walk and then the next day all your problems are fixed. Like, it's not going to work that way. You're going to have to give it time, put in the effort, and trust that good karma will come in, because I feel like you guys have accrued a lot of good karma. It's coming. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You have bright prospects. Feel that anticipation. Lean into that energy. Lean the hell away from that Nine of Swords, please. Okay. Quote. I do the quote first. Not that it really matters. But anyway, let's get your My Hero Academia quote. Group 3, what quote do you need to hear to keep going? Okay. Let's see what we got. Ooh, everyone got a different quote. I love how that happens. Okay. There's nothing crueler than letting a dream end midway. Aizawa. Okay. There's nothing crueler than letting a dream end midway. Yeah. Because I feel like, again, for all three groups, you feel like the group that is the closest to wanting to give up. And I'm pretty sure I've said this in all three groups now. I'm pretty sure. Definitely said it in group 2. I'm pretty sure I've said it in all three groups. Is don't you dare give up because times are tough. How would you feel if you had like a crystal ball, you know, let's say you gave up right now and then you look in a crystal ball and it's like, well, if you hadn't given up, fucking 2 weeks later, everything would have happened. All the good shit would have come in. Like, you would be so pissed at yourself. You know what I mean? But now you got to start all over again. Like, so don't give up. The hero's journey is hard. I feel like whatever it is you're working toward is something truly beautiful, truly magical. It's a wish. I think the thing too with you guys is you have maybe like the deepest wish of all, like the biggest dream of all. Like, you're putting the most into it, if that makes sense, which is why it also is feeling harder and deeper. And oh my God, I'm a Scorpio. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So is Aizawa. But anyway, I'm sorry. We needed a little comic relief there because your reading is like, it's tough, you know? Anyway, I think the reason that your situation seems darker and more difficult to overcome than the other two groups is because this is something that is like, I can't even put into words how important this is to you, if that makes sense. You have a deep, for some of you, maybe this is like a lifelong dream, lifelong wish, and you've been working towards it for years and it hasn't been working out. But there's nothing crueler than letting a dream end midway. Don't give up. Synergy. Synergy is all about turning one thing into the other. Karma, justice, negative into a positive, hero's journey into the victory at the end of the hero's journey, you know? So let's get your My Hero Academia character that you should embody. Group 3, which character should you embody? Okay. I'm gonna peek. Let's see. Okay, well, I had a feeling. Okay. So basically, I always get really excited when every group gets different ones because I take time, right? I write these. I want people to get different messages. Everyone has gotten a different card, except for this is the same as group 1. And it's funny because I had a feeling group 1 was going to get this character. I also just had a feeling you were going to get this character, and you did. So you guys got Bakugo. Force yourself to be confident even when it's hard. Don't allow yourself to care what other people think about you. Then you'll get a complete victory. Well, isn't that interesting? Seeing as how you guys have that Empress energy, the 7 of Swords, and you had that message loud and clear of like, keep things to yourself. If someone's gonna make you feel bad about your dreams or make you feel stupid or less than or whatever, whether it's their intention or not, keep it to yourself. Don't worry about what other people think about you. And in situations where you can keep things to yourself, where you don't have to worry about if they're gonna judge you or not, keep it to yourself. You gotta keep this sacred, is what it feels like to me. There's something about this wish, this dream, that maybe you shouldn't be sharing with others. Or maybe if you have like maybe one person, but other than that, like there's this need, this feeling to like keep it to yourself and find confidence in your dream, no matter how difficult or how hard it may be. But anyways, group 3, that is going to do it for you. Thank you so much for watching this reading. I really appreciate you. If you're interested in a private reading, check out my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the reading and welcome to the outro podcast. Let's catch up. So just a reminder, this is going to be super conversational. I mean, they always are, but it's been a long time since I've posted, so maybe you don't remember. But there's no script, there's no outline. I just want to chat with you guys and just kind of catch you up on what's been going on with me. So, you know, put this on in the background while you're cleaning or trying to fall asleep or something, because it's gonna be all over the place most likely. But yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so what is new with me? I haven't posted in I don't even know how long, like 6 months or something like that. And it's like one of those phases in life where it's like I feel like everything has changed, yet nothing has changed. And I think really what it is that internally, emotionally, like I have changed, but my outer reality is exactly the fucking same. You know, I'm still at the same shitty, overpriced apartment complex that I hate. I'm still kind of in the same place, you know, career-wise, life-wise, just everything. Nothing has changed, nothing exciting to report. I wish there was, trust me. But I have totally changed because in the last like 7 months or so, you know, it's been a lot. I don't really know that I want to like go into like too many details just because like 1, I don't want to relive it, and like 2, I feel like this would be super long, but like basically it was just like 7 months of like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, are you serious? Like this and now this. It was just like thing after thing after thing, like shitty entitled neighbors, followed by having to have surgery that I wasn't expecting, and my dog having a lot of issues and lots of vet bills, and having to replace all 4 of my tires, which I also wasn't expecting. And it was just like hemorrhaging money and just like lots of stressful situations and lots of assholes. However, it's changed me. You know, everything happens for a reason, right? You know, when you're going through like transformation and like, you know, that kind of like, you know, I always say like the phoenix rising, right? If you want to be the phoenix, you got to be the ashes first. Like, oh, I've been the ashes for the last 6-7 months. Like, I've been at my wit's end. It's been one thing after the other. And I am extremely grateful, but you could not pay me to relive those 7 months. Like, I would like out now. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot, but it's definitely, it's changed me. I feel like myself again, you know? Perfect example. If you watch My Hero Academia, if you're aware of the characters, I am literally Bakugo.
Hey, idiots! The city told you to run the hell away! Did you not check your phone or are you just stupid?
He is like short-tempered, short-fused, calls everyone idiots and assholes and has no filter and doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks about him. And that's how I've been my whole life until I moved to LA. I became one with LA. I became an LA City pod person. I lost all my confidence, and I just lost myself. I'm an East Coast girly. The West Coast, it is so, well, at least LA. I know people from the West Coast always get angry when they get lumped in with LA, and I understand why, because LA fucking sucks. So LA is a shithole, and I hate it. Let's be real. That's like the major realization that I've come to. I think I am meant to leave LA. I think I will be leaving LA. Now, before you give me suggestions and stuff, like, no. Like, I know in my heart of hearts there will be a reason that I move somewhere. Because there is nowhere that I want to move, which is why I am still where I am, even though I am miserable and I hate it here. It's the devil I know. And sometimes I think you have to stick with the devil you know. You got to stick with the comfort zone until that new thing comes along. So I'm positive there will be a reason for me to move somewhere. And it just hasn't come forward yet. I don't know what that reason is. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I just know that I don't want to stay here. I hate it, which is so funny because if you had asked me 6 months ago, like, would you ever consider leaving LA? I would have said, absolutely not. What are you talking about? Like, this is my home. I've lived here for 11 years. I've always wanted to live here my entire life. I'm an actor. I do voice acting. I love it here. Like, no. I mean, the way I feel now is I still love LA, but I also hate it. Like, I love it because, I'm sorry, the weather is second to none. It is perfect. I love the weather. I just love, like, the things. Like, I love hiking in Griffith Park. I love going to brunch on Melrose. Like, I love driving through Hollywood. Like, I'm a freak. I'm the only freak that enjoys driving through, like, West Hollywood and Hollywood. I love it here. But I hate the culture and I hate the majority of the people. Like, I've never vibed with the culture or the people out here. I'm from the East Coast. I'm not from New York, but I have more of like a New York kind of personality. Like, I'm the type of person where it's like, oh, when I go to New York, like, I feel at home. I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh, I just love like yelling at people. And like they yell back and it's magical and it's wonderful. Here in Los Angeles, if you yell at someone, they don't make eye contact with you, they completely ignore you, and they keep doing whatever it is that you're yelling at them for. Like, for instance, when I'm walking my dog, that is the thing. That is the thing that made me realize that I really, like, I'm just so over living here, is that everyone that I know pretty much has a dog and lives somewhere else in North America, the US and Canada. And all my friends and family have dogs, and they walk their dogs, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, the people in our neighborhood or my complex, like, they're so nice. We wave hello, we avoid each other. They cross the street, I cross the street. Everyone's really considerate. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the hell that's like, because it is the complete opposite here, where I am the only person that's considerate. I'm constantly picking up my 40-pound dog when most of these people have dogs under 10 fucking pounds, and they just stand there looking at me like, like, I am the only one walking my dog that is considerate, that turns the other way, that waits, that picks up my dog, that gets out of the way. I can't tell you the number of times I've had people literally coming up mine and Flurry's asses with their dog. And Flurry's going berserk because she hates dogs. She is not friendly. And I hate people. I'm not friendly. So my dog's going berserk. They just keep barreling, power walking up our asses. And I'm literally yelling, like, can you not? Like, she's not friendly. Like, back off. And they don't acknowledge you. They don't look at you. They just keep doing whatever the hell they want to do. Like, the entitlement in Los Angeles is second to none. And it has just gotten so much worse over the last couple years. I am so over it. When all my friends and family are like, yeah, I don't know what that's like. Everyone here's nice and considerate. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's the exact opposite here. And it drives me nuts. I dread taking her out every time I have to take her out because I know I'm going to run into some asshole that's going to piss me off. And like, just yell back at me, for God's sake. Tell me to go fuck myself. Like, please. That's all I want. But yeah, where was I? Oh, I hate LA. Yeah, it's just, again, I've never vibed with it. I've always loved it, but didn't vibe with it, if that makes sense. And I've just kind of like reached my breaking point where I'm just like, I'm so over this. I am so over living here. I'm so over the people here. I am so over the culture. I fucking hate it. I want to go. But forgive me, I've kind of recorded this a bunch of times, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm terribly sorry. But like, I started to kind of get intuitive thoughts like about 6 months ago that the chapter might be closing. And at first, of course, I fought it because, like I said, I've always wanted to live here. I've lived here for 11 years. Like, this is my home. So, of course, like, whenever you feel that change coming, you kind of try to fight it. But I quickly, like, gave into it because, well, some weird shit happened. I mean, first of all, this is where I knew we were leaving. Let me tell you this, like, weird story. So, Fleury and I hike a lot. We love hiking. Griffith Park is our number one spot. We hike all over the place, but that's our, like, go-to. And so we get there one day. We were at this time we were going like 3 times a week, and we get there and I just get this intuitive feeling. I'm like, we're going to run into a coyote today. Like, I can just feel it. And I was like, well, we're still going to go. Like, we're here. Let's do this. We go on our hike. Everything's fine. And then I get this intuitive pull that I want to go to like the lookout point. So there's this lookout point where it's like paved. And it's like, if you've ever seen like a car commercial and there's like the cars are like, you know, the LA city skylines in the background and there's the cars, you know, this is that spot. It's also in lots of TV shows and music videos and stuff, but it's like this paved lookout spot in the middle of Griffith Park, and like the Griffith Observatory is to the right, and like downtown LA is like straight ahead. And so I don't usually go up there. It's usually like if someone's visiting me, I'll take them up there. But for some reason, I felt like we have to go up there. And the trail that we take to get up there is like towards the end of our hike, so we're already tired. It's like a very uphill, like it's kind of intense. And I'm just like, ugh, like I really don't want to do it, but I feel like I need to go up there. So I know these trails like the back of my freaking hand. Like, I've been on these trails hundreds of times. I somehow ended up, tell me how, I ended up on a completely different trail by accident. I thought I was on that trail. I ended up on a different trail that was like the quickest, easiest, shortest little route to the lookout spot. And when we came out the other end and I saw it, I was like, okay. That was fate. Like, that was weird. And so, you know, we took some pictures, Fleury and I. Well, I mean, I took pictures of Fleury, and you know, we just stood there for a little while and kind of took it in. And I just had this feeling that like this is the last time I'm seeing this. Like, I just had this feeling. Oh, and I forgot to mention at the very beginning of the hike, I also had a feeling that this is our last hike. And I said, this was back in like April, and I said to myself like no, like maybe this is one of our last hikes because like summer's coming, but like this isn't our last. Like, what? Like, again, like trying to fight the intuitive thoughts. Yeah, then the whole thing with the lookout happened. And then we come back. And I shit you not when I tell you that we got to the very end of our hike. And who do you think was blocking the exit, the only way out? Mr. Coyote. And of course he saw us. And I proceeded to have the most terrifying coyote experience I've ever had. That dude came at us. You know, I've had experiences with coyotes, but this was by far like the scariest one. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I had headphones that also work as speakers, so I was blaring music, making as much noise as possible. I had my mace in my hand, ready to go. And like, I had already been through like a couple really rough months at this point. So like, honestly, literally, if that coyote had attacked, I would have kicked the shit out of it. I would have won. Like, cause you didn't want to fuck with me back in like April, May. Trust me. So yeah, most terrifying experience ever. And then finally we got out, and got away from him and left. And that was the last time we ever went hiking. That was it. That was back in like April. And I don't know, it just felt to me like this is over. This chapter's over. And LA, like seeing the skyline and that whole thing, it was like, that's when I like accepted, like, you know what, I think I am leaving. I think this chapter is closing. And here we are in September. I'm still here. Still miserable, not as miserable, but like still miserable. I still hate this place. I hate everyone that lives here. I hate all my neighbors. And it didn't used to be like that, man. Like, I've lived here for years, this particular apartment, and it was amazing for the first few years before it got, you know, sold. Like, I loved all my neighbors. Everyone was considerate and quiet and nice, and it was cozy, and I could get work done without any problems. And it sucks now. I hate it here. And so yeah, I'm just you know, kind of floating in the void, essentially, you know. I mean, it's like, again, it's like nothing in my physical world has changed. Things have calmed down, knock on freaking wood. Things have calmed down in the last month or so. Things have gotten a lot, like, better in general. But, I mean, but still, like, I don't want to be here, you know. That's kind of it, honestly. I'm waiting for something, you know. I can feel it. Like, there's going to be a reason I move. There's going to be something. And I'm just waiting for it. Because it just seems like all the doors are closing. Oh, and also too, like with LA too, it's like, I kept, of course, trying to like apply to jobs and like, you know, audition. And I tried to connect with some old friends, and it's like, I tried to find new places to move to. And it's like, everything was just like brick wall, brick wall, brick wall. And it just felt so deliberate, and it felt so like, sit down, just chill. You're not setting down roots here. You're leaving. Like, we'll let you know. Like, that's how it felt. Like, just relax. We'll let you know when it's time to go. Okay. So that's where I am. It's like, I wish I had more to update you on, because I feel like, again, it kind of feels like nothing's changed, even though, again, like energetically, I feel completely different and I feel pretty fucking amazing. But yeah, I'm just chilling. That's where I am. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know. This was like, I'm feeling very self-conscious right now. I think it's just because I'm being very much myself right now, which is a scary thing to do, especially on the internet. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you guys are doing well. And, you know, follow me on Instagram. Check out my Etsy shop if you want a private reading. If you have made it all the way to the end, you are a champion. A champion. What the fuck was that? I don't know. You're amazing. And leave me a strawberry emoji if you made it all the way to the end. The strawberry, please. I don't know why that's what popped into my head, but it is. So we're going to go with it. But anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Hope you have a wonderful day, and hopefully I will see you later. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.